Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Place Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So these are the two important newspaper that is relevant for the examination. So we'll cover the most important news that is relevant for the exam. So let's get started with the topic first. Today is 17th of September. The first topic is New Jurassic Era SAR, which was found in Rajasthan. Second, government set up bad bank for the NPA, that is non-performing assets. Third, recovery on track as per RBI. So the deputy governor of RBI has signaled that economy is rebounding. Second last, Indo-Pacific Security Alliance concern China. We have discussed Indo-Pacific Security Alliance yesterday. We'll see some important aspects today also. And the last is e-Shram needs some hard work to get going. So this is an editorial from the Hindu. Apart from all the news and editorial discussion, there would be some MCQ based question. This would be at the end of this video, and this would be the current affairs question that will help you in the upcoming prelims examination. So let's get started. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, do not forget to give a thumbs up. So let's get started with the first news of the day, that is New Jurassic Era SAR from Rajasthan. This is something which is important for your General Studies Paper 3, Conservation, Environment Pollutions and Environmental Impact Assessment. So it is mostly relevant for your conservation part, and this type of news is important for prelims examination only, right? So a researcher from the Geological Survey of India, GSI, और इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी रुड़की के कुछ रिसर्चर हैं, उन्होंने रिसेंटली कुछ एक्सटेंट स्पीसीज ऑफ हाइबोडोंट शार्क है उसको डिस्कवर किया है. दे फाउंड दिस इन द जैसलमेर बेसिन ऑफ राजस्थान. सो इफ इट इज बीइंग आस्क्ड इन एग्जामिनेशन कि जो हाइबोडोंट शार्क है वो कहाँ पे पाई जाती थी, किस बेसिन में पाई जाती थी या किस स्टेट्स में इट हैज बीन फाउंड, सो द आंसर वुड बी राजस्थान, राइट. So what happened when you read current affairs? आपके दिमाग से कई बार ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें you missed out. So make sure आप इसको remember करके रखें, ध्यान में रखें, because in prelims anything if you know a clue also you can easily eliminate the answer and you can mark a correct answer, right? So hybodonts की अगर बात करें, they are dominated both by marine and freshwater environment due to Jurassic and early Jurassic periods. So this is the image just to show you that what was the actual size. This is 2 mm and this is 5 mm, two samples from that particular area. Now teeth specimen collections की अगर बात करें, so the scientists, the geologists have collected over 30 teeth specimen from that region, and that shows the specimen lead around 160 to 168 million ago. जो ये collections की गई है teeth का, उससे ये पता चला कि ऑलमोस्ट ये जो इनकी लाइफ स्पैन रही होगी, दैट वाज लाइक अराउंड हाउ लॉन्ग एक्चुअली व्हाट वाज द एरा दैट दे एक्चुअली लिव्ड, व्हाट 160 टू 168 मिलियन ईयर अगो. एंड हाइबोडोंट शार्क की अगर बात करें, दे हैव बीन रिपोर्टेड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन द जुरासिक रॉक इन द जैसलमेर रीजन ऑफ राजस्थान. और इसको बाद में व्हेन इट वाज फाउंड फ्रॉम दिस रीजन, इट वाज नोन एज टोरोफोडस जैसलमेरिनस. This was discovered as a significant and first record of the Tropodus genus in the Indian subcontinent. Now, something more about hybodont sharks की अगर बारे में बात करें, this is something which would be relevant for prelims also. So it is speculated कि यहाँ पे जो hybodont shark है that have grown over 2 to 3 meter long. This is how which it could have long the length of the total shark, and this can become extinct after about 65 million years ago, probably due to completions of another fish, including the shark. So it is interesting that it to be noted that dinosaurs have also well extinct millions of years ago. So it is not clear whether two extinct are relative. And Jaisalmer is a treasure over marine fossil, especially in the invertebrates, right? And hybodont fossil की अगर बात करें, they have also been a lot of fossil wood suggesting a vegetation rich coastal environment, right? Now the second news, that government set up bad banks for NPA. This is something which is important for your general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors. So the Union Cabinet, basically the Ministry of Finance, had decided that they would be approving a crucial plan for setting up of National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited, जिसको short में NARCL कहेंगे, right? This would be known as bad bank. So bad bank is a common term which is being used, but actual में से कहते हैं National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. So क्या कोशिश की गई है NARCL के थ्रू? So the government has tried to reduce the non-performing asset of the public sectors bank. जितने भी NPA है उनको कैसे reduce की जा सके, कम की जा सके, right? So the cabinet cleared almost 30,600 crores guarantee program for security to be issued in the newly incorporated bank for taking over resolving non-performing assets amounting to 2 lakh crore rupees, right? और NARCL की बात करें तो गवर्नमेंट वुड ऑल्सो सेटअप अ डेट, बेसिकली इंडिया डेट रिजोल्यूशन कंपनी ट्राइब्यूनल. तो फर्स्ट स्टैब्लिशमेंट होगी NARCL की, उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट ने इसी क्रम में इसको एक्सटेंड करते हुए इंडिया डेट रिजोल्यूशन कंपनी लिमिटेड भी बनाने की बात की. So what is IRDCL? So this is a service kind company और an operational entity जो मैनेज करेगी सारे एसेट्स को. जितने भी लूप होल्स है मार्केट के प्रोफेशनल या एक्सपर्ट्स के, उनके खामियों को दे विल आइडेंटिफाई, दे विल फाइंड आउट द लूप होल एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दे विल ट्राई टू रिजॉल्व इट, राइट? तो जितने भी पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स होंगे और जो भी पब्लिक FIF जो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं would be holding a maximum 49% stake and rest will be with the public sector lenders. So this is how the bifurcation has been done. Now खास करके NARCL और IRDCL की बात करें, ये किस तरह से काम करेगी, how the coordination would be established. So first the National Asset Reconstruction जो ट्राइब्यूनल है, they will first purchase the bad loan from the bank. जितनी भी bad loan है वो purchase करेगी and it will pay 15% of their agreed price in cash, right? जितने भी total amount होगी, जितने recovered amount होने हैं उसके 15% तक वो instantly pay करेगी बैंक को and remaining 85%, जो remaining 85% amount बचेगी उस NPA के, this 85% would be from that NPA that NARCL would buy, right? और वो एक तरह से security receipt होगी, सिक्योरिटी रिसीट के फॉर्म में रखी होगी और बाद के जो बचे हुए पैसे होंगे वो उनको तब दी जाएगी जब IDRCL जब वो सारी पैसे को रिकवर कर लेगी, देन they will be able to pay back to the bank, right? So this is how the functioning will go, right? This is important more for your mains examination. अगर आप मेंस में आंसर लिखते हैं तो मेक श्योर यू aware of the mechanism how it works. 15% instantly और 85% बाद में. Now, will bad bank resolve the matter? This is a concern. The expert are of the opinion कि कुछ perspective में ये देखी गई कि जो commercial bank जिस तरह से high NPA में है, वो the level of NPA is rising. So definitely it will help, right? The government which is coming up with this type of program and policy is aimed to ensure कि इसमें benefit मिले. This is because such will get rid of all toxic assets. जितने भी NPA या फिर जो भी ऐसे assets है जो aligned है that has to be recovered, that is more or indebted, तो उसको वहाँ पे कोशिश की जा रही है कि उसके profits जितने भी कम हुए हैं उसको recover किया जा सके. Now when the recovery money is paid back, it will further improve the bank position and meanwhile it can state the lending also. So those बैंक उनकी जिनके NPA काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़े हुए हैं, उनकी जो lending capacity है वो भी कम हो जाती है and even the RBI play a regulatory role. They do not allow to lend more. Recently आपने देखा होगा जिस तरह से एक छोटे से एग्जाम्पल में HDFC के केस में जहाँ पे उन्होंने HDFC को क्रेडिट कार्ड देने से मना कर दिया था, न्यू क्रेडिट कार्ड इशू, दैट वाज मोर ऑफ द वायलेशन, राइट? इससे लिंक्ड नहीं है बट आपको ये समझने की जरूरत है व्हेन समथिंग इज हैपनिंग with regards to the financial institutions, RBI take all precautionary measures. So here also when the bank do not improve its position, it cannot lend more. Now, a bad bank plan, if you see the inception of bad bank, actually it was announced during the Union Budget 2021 and the government said that it planned to set up the Asset Reconstruction Company. This is also known as ARC. I think most of you must be aware of ARC. So these asset management company would consolidate जहाँ भी जितने भी existing डेप्ट होंगे, खास करके जो स्ट्रेस डेप्ट होंगे पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स के, उनको वो लेगी एंड दे विल ट्राई टू फिगर आउट कि क्या एक्चुअल वैल्यू जो रियलाइजेशन है वो उनको वापस किए जा सके. दे वुड मैनेज दैट एंड दिस वुड हेल्प the bank balance sheet to be maintained in a proper manner. And as per the finance ministry, the asset quality review by the bank that would be conducted by 2015 has revealed that high NPA is winding up the banking performance, and this is something which led the limitations to the bank in terms of lending to the customers, right? So this is all about the bad bank plan. Now we'll see some 4R strategy that government tried to inculcate in the form of recovery. So in order to cope up with the non-performing assets, government ने कोशिश की थी 4R strategy को implement करने की. This 4R is recognitions, resolution, recapitalization, and reform. Very, very important for your mains. So if you're writing in mains paper, make sure you write this. And after recognition, quantification of NPA started in the phased manner and recovery has also started. So in the last 6 financial year, जितने भी 4Rs थे were executed. बहुत अच्छे से इसकी implementation हुई और बैंक ने almost 5,1479 crore rupees की recovery भी की. So this 4R strategy is working. If you're writing an answer as a conclusion, as a way forward, make sure you incorporate these points. Now, recovery on a track as per RBI. So RBI has said that definitely the economy is rebounding. It is coming into its pace, but it will take another quarter to finally improve much better. So something which is important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian economy and issue related to planning, mobilization, growth and development. So the Reserve Bank of India Deputy Governor has recently said कि जो economy recovery है that is on the pace and it reflects at pace on the trend of productions and order books. So he categorically noted that the RBI growth, which was anticipated of 9.5% for the year, is eminently achievable. And he said जो economy rebound है after the second wave is being supported by the monetary policy of the RBI. Basically जितने भी policies है, monetary policies है, fiscal policy है, so this has to be taking in the long and necessary accommodative, which reflects the ample liquidity in the system, right? So fiscal policy from the government and monetary policy from the central bank, that is RBI, has to work in a synchronization in a parallel manner so that it can ultimately level up, give a positive sentiments in the recovery of economy. Now reasons for inflationary pressures की अगर बात करें जिस तरह से inflation बढ़ी है, so noting the current inflationary pressures largely driven by the shock supply. When the product or even the manufacturing is less, the cost of the price tend to rise, right? The basic economical concepts. So this contributed to the inflation, impacting to the narrow supply of goods like edible oil, LPG and petroleum products. Even the price of petroleum is increasing, but we have recently seen during the month of May and June, the oil prices has also touched the highest level. So this is a time when the production is more, when the supply is more, and the demand is adequately met, the price stability can be maintained. Now कमिटमेंट टू प्राइस स्टेबिलिटी ये ज़रूरी है, खास करके जो मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमेटी है उन्होंने ये फर्म अफर्मेशंस दी है आरबीआई को, उनके जो इन्विजन्स है सीपीआई इन्फ्लेशन को लेकर के. दे सेड दैट इट शुड बी नॉट इंक्रीजिंग मोर देन 5.7% फॉर दिस ईयर. करंट ईयर की बात की गई है, दिस इज फॉर 2021 एंड इवन इट हैज़ गिवन इट एंटिसिपेशंस कि आने वाले ईयर्स में दिस वुड बी 5% and the next 2023 to 2024 it would be under 4%, right? So this is a sense of relief that a customer can anticipate in the coming years. Now Indo-Pacific Security Alliance concerns China. Definitely after the alliance that come up between all these three countries, China is concerned that this is something which would definitely impact China, and it would also give these countries that China should not dominate in the Indo-Pacific region. Important for General Studies Paper 2, effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries. China ने recently denounce किया है कि जो Indo-Pacific Security Alliance बनी है between United States, यूनाइटेड किंगडम, दैट इज ब्रिटेन और ऑस्ट्रेलिया. दिस इज समथिंग पार्टनरशिप जो कि किसी एक कंट्री को टारगेट कर रही है, जो होना नहीं चाहिए. Definitely China is defending, but the sole motive of this is to promote neutrality in the Indo-Pacific region. And why China is concerned? Because China ने इस region में काफ़ी ज़्यादा dominance बनाई हुई थी. So under the new security partnership, the US and the UK will equip Australia the nuclear submarine. I have discussed this yesterday also. इससे सबसे ज़्यादा बेनिफिट ऑस्ट्रेलिया को होगी, जिनको इस कंट्रीज़ को नए न्यूक्लियर सबमरीन्स मिलेंगे. And the alliance will see the reshaping of relations between the Indo-Pacific region and beyond, right? जो Quad membership है, जिसमें India is also an active member. So all this country would be benefit with this decision. Now we'll see each country's take on this meeting. So first let's start with United States. यहाँ पे basically जब Barack Obama was the president, he began to start this process and focusing upon to the attention in the Indo-Pacific region, but some progress have made, something has been left out. तो अब ये कोशिश की जा रही है जो नई प्रेसिडेंटशिप है जो बाइडेन की, ही इज़ लुकिंग टू इंटेंसिफाई. अभी रिसेंटली अफगानिस्तान में जिस तरह से यूएस फोर्सेज ने विड्रॉ किया है, सो दे आर मोर कंसर्न इन द इंडो-पैसिफिक रीजन, एंड इवन द डोमिनेंस ऑफ चाइना that is only growing in this region is a concern for United States also. Now, if you talk about Britain, Britain said that none of the three leaders mentioned China. They said, we are not focusing on China. We are more concerned about the stability and the prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. So, Indo-Pacific region में सभी country की access हो, that is our concern. It should not be only dominated by China, right? So, US ने previously ये कहा था कि जो nuclear propulsion technology है with Britain, they would be intensifying it. And US said that about ensuring peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region in the longer term is the main concern for this country. This is something which is very important, and in fact, it will benefit India in the longer run also. So the British Prime Minister has said that the new alliance would allow the three nations to sharpen their focus, जहाँ पे जितने भी complicated issues हैं world level पे जो increase हो रहे हैं in the Indo-Pacific, that can be have a resolutions. Now, if you talk about Australia, how Australia is going to do under the arrangement, Australia would build at least 8 nuclear powered submarines जहाँ पे US expertise के साथ काम की जाएगी, and they would be also in contract with the France for the diesel electric submarines. And expert says the जो nuclear submarines होगी, this will allow Australia to conduct longer patrols जहाँ पे they can have a stronger military presence in this region, right? And the nuclear submarine will also be provided to Australia. So the Australian Prime Minister said that he has called up the leaders of Japan, India to expand the new alliances. Now the other news, this is basically an editorial from The Hindu, talks about e-Shram need some hard works to get on going. So this is something which is important for General Studies paper 2, function responsibility of union and state. Also in the same paper, the another topic is government intervention for the development of various sectors. तो दोनों topics में ये important है. So what is under this editorial? I'll be discussing under 4 subhead. The first is delay in registration process, a long process that will take place for including all the workforce, data security and other issues, and the way forward. So the entire editorial focuses upon national database for unorganized worker, right? So Ministry of Labor, MOL जैसे short form में कहते हैं, they have recently launched e-Shram. ये एक वेब पोर्टल है जहाँ पे कोशिश की जा रही है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कि एक नेशनल डेटाबेस फॉर अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड वर्कर क्रिएट किया जाए, जिनको उनके आधार कार्ड से लिंक्ड किया जाएगा. दिस वुड बी सीडेड विद द आधार कार्ड, राइट? एंड इट सीक्स टू रजिस्टर द एस्टिमेटेड 398 to 400 million अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड वर्कर और उनको ई श्रम कार्ड दी जाएगी, राइट? सो व्हाई दिस इज बीइंग डन नाउ? बिकॉज कोविड-19 से जो लोग इफेक्ट हुए हैं, राइट, जिनकी खास करके लाइवलीहुड चली गई है, अब गवर्नमेंट उनको बेनिफिट देनी चाहती, बट उनके पास इस तरह से डेटाबेस नहीं है कि वो एक्चुअल बेनिफिशरीज को आइडेंटिफाई कर पाए. So this is in light of that government is coming up with the e-Shramik card, although this could have done before also in 2018 when Supreme Court has said. I'll tell you everything. Let's see पहले क्या क्या बातें हुई हैं. So delay in registrations की बात की गई है. So National Database for Unorganized Worker, दिस शुड हैव कम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस वे बैक, जहाँ पे अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड वर्कर्स जो सोशल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट है 2008 में लाने की बात कही गई थी, बट at this point of time nothing has happened, right? If the database would have created, this would have helped a lot more people who are working for the unorganized sector to get benefits directly from the government. So it come after the repeated nudging of the Supreme Court. कई बार Supreme Court ने सरकार को फटकार लगाई इसके बारे में कि why you are not creating a database, you should create a database for the unorganized workers. Now, if the central government and state government began to legally mandate this process on time, it would have not given the distress to lack of the vulnerable workforce that would have been avoided, right? So it is a result of state apathy. And definitely both the central government and the state government need to work in a coordinations to ensure कि जल्दी से जल्द जितने लोग हैं unorganized sectors के उनको ई श्रमिक कार्ड इशू की जा सके. This would be a long process, definitely. It is not so easy that we will include everyone within a span of a month or two. So it's a gangetic nature, जहाँ पे registrations जितने भी workers की हैं, it will be a long drawn process. At present में बात करें, only 0.61 million workforce has been registered, right? अभी तक हुई है, मैंने आपको बताया जो total workforce है यहाँ पे, that is 400 million, right? So this is a total workforce that would be included. Right, अभी 0.61 ही सिर्फ हो पाई है. Now the government has not mentioned the gestation period for this strategy and efficacy. They have not given a deadline. This should be provided with a deadline so that an earliest enrollment should be done. And the work stand to gain registration by medium to long run. Now data security and some other issues that is vital. We know that data that would be collected from an individual, their Aadhaar card, their bank account would be linked. So this is a cause for concern because in India we do not have data security laws, right? तो एक potential abuse हो सकती है किसी की data के साथ भी, and the central government would have to share this data with the state government whose data security capacities are again very weak. They are not that adequately maintained कि वो leak और loophole से बचा पाए अपने आप. So there are also media report pointing out the absence of national architecture related to the data security. We do not have any central law when it comes to the data security, right? So this is a concern that has been raised. Some other issues like by excluding the worker from the EPF or जो ESI के जो benefits हैं, so lack of contract and fixed term worker would be excluded by the universe of unorganized workforce. और national database on unorganized worker कई ऐसे लोगों को भी एक्सक्लूड कर रही है जो 59 ईयर ऑफ एज के हैं. सो दिस इज समथिंग इज विच अ लेवल ऑफ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हैज बीन मेंटेन. सो गवर्नमेंट हैज टू सी दैट वेदर दिस बेनिफिट कैन बी एक्सटेंडेड टू दिस एज ग्रुप ऑल्सो. नाउ द वे फॉरवर्ड दैट यू कैन राइट इवन इफ इट इज आस्क्ड इन एग्जामिनेशन, तो आप ये कह सकते हैं कि ई श्रम इज अ वेरी वाइटल प्रोसेस दैट इज समथिंग which would include a lot more workforce, और इसके जो benefits हैं that is a long term benefits, like इसके सारे long term benefits होंगे जो कि गवर्नमेंट अपने policies के थ्रू इन लोगों को दे पाएगी. It would provide a labor market citizen document to them. It would be a legal I-card. It is a kind of sort of an I-card about their having जो unorganized workers में काम कर रहे हैं उनके लिए एक आइडेंटिटी कार्ड की तरह काम करेगी ई श्रमिक कार्ड्स, right? So in any offices, like you have identity card, whether you're working for a government or you're for private sector, you got I-card, right? So this is something which would be acting as an identity card to the unorganized sector workers. So this must be a triple linkage, efficient linkage test that would give all benefits. और ये ज़रूरी है गवर्नमेंट को इस टाइम पे वो कुछ 3 इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ों को लिंक करे. That is one nation, one ration card, e-shram card that is seated with the bank account of an individual, and election card, right? If these 3 things are interlinked, the individual can get all benefits that is coming from the central government or from the state governments. Last but not the least, जो registration है that cannot be a source for exclusion and person from receiving the social assistance and benefits. अगर ये सारी चीज़ें इंटीग्रेट कर ली जाती हैं, so जितने भी benefits हैं सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स को, वो उस बेनिफिशियरी को आराम से मिल पाएंगे, right? So this is how the way forward can be concluded. And if you're writing in mains paper, make sure आप इस तरह के important notes के positive notes में suggestions दें. Now, coming to the MCQ questions of the day, before I proceed with the question, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For the first question, the correct option is B. For the second question, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ, some static questions also have been included today. Static plus current. Olive-redded turtle. They are carnivorous. The Odisha Garimata sanctuary is known as the world's largest rookery for the sea turtle. So if you have read some of the important NCERT book, this would be very easy for you to answer. So do let me know which among the following is the correct answer in the comment section down below. Second, with regards to the National Urban Digital Mission, consider the following is it. The communication has launched, basically the Ministry of Communication has launched National Urban Digital Mission, and it will create a shared digital infrastructure for urban India across three pillars, that is people, process and platform, to provide a holistic support to the cities and town. You can pause this video, you can read out the entire statement, then after eliminating, and if you know the answer, do find the correct option and write that answer in the comment section down below. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much for listening.